Giselle, what are you guys planning on doing at the end of this year? Do you have any plans to come back over to our house?
Sorry, Mom. This year I don't think we're going to be able to make it out to you. We've been thinking about going over to Dan's parents this time.
Is that right? So then you guys are going all the way out to Florida?
This year it seems like his family will all be getting together at his parents' for New Year's. That's why we've been talking about going out there as well, quite a lot. It's been a while since I've seen his grandparents, so I'd like to go out and see the both of them as well.
His grandpa ended up in the hospital earlier this year, right? Has he gotten any better since then?
From what I've been told, he's doing a whole lot better now. Although I'm not sure how to feel about what happened. This last time he came out all right, but as humans, who knows what will happen if he becomes sick again. So while he's still doing better and has energy, I want to go out and see him a lot. That's probably the main reason why this time we're going out to see Dan's family.
I guess so. Although getting down to Florida from here is a long trip. You'll have to pay for both flights there and back. So make sure when you're down there you spend every minute with him and the rest of your husband's grandparents.
That's exactly right. Although there are some parts of the year where tickets to Florida are cheap, so I can always go there then as well. After all, it's not like they'll be able to come out here.
It sure is a long trip for all of them to make. And for older folks, the warm temperature of Florida are a lot better than the cold and dry air here. I think you're going to really enjoy spending your New Year's holiday there. You were born and raised out here in the north, and yet you hate the cold, right?
That's why I'm really happy to be going there if we do make the choice to go and won't have to stick around in this cold. Honestly, I would love to live in Florida all winter and then come back here for the summer.
Well, you would have to find a much more forgiving job, like a freelance job if you wanted to do that.
Well, I'd never be able to give up the job I have now. Anyway, our plan is to go down south to see his family this year, so we won't be coming out to your house. Sorry about that, Mom. We'll make sure we stop by once we get into January and say hi.
No worries, Giselle. I was going to say that if you did have plans of coming to our house this year, not to come. So this works out perfectly for everyone.
What? Why don't you want us coming there?
That's because everyone here is planning to go on vacation at that time. I've always dreamed of going overseas, and so the plan is to go during New Year's. I'm sorry that Dan and you won't be coming, but you guys have the warm weather in Florida to look forward to.
You're all going overseas? You guys are like celebrities now, leaving the country on vacation for the holidays. Makes me think you all have lots of money.
And because of this, we have all been saving up money for a long time. Also, the hotel rooms that we have booked aren't all that expensive, so don't think of us as being that rich.
But just having the chance to leave the US for a bit is enough to say you guys are well off. And after this trip, you all will have great memories of going to another country during New Year's. Ah, so does this mean Ben and his wife will be going too with you?
Of course they will be. Everyone living in this house will be going.
What country are you all planning to go to?
St. Martin.
Wow, I'm jealous. Someday I'd love to take a trip out there myself.
Hey, Florida is pretty close to the Caribbean, so it'll be like we're both in the same place. Everything will be tropical and surrounded with white beaches. And luckily, everyone in Florida will be speaking English. I'm not sure about St. Martin, but since they are a part of the Netherlands, they might all be speaking Dutch.
That doesn't mean they can't all speak English as well. And you are right, being in Florida will be just as tropical as St. Martin. But you will be in another country altogether. Have a safe and fun time there, please.
Will do. I've been looking forward to this trip forever now, so I'll make sure to have as much fun as possible at my age.
Enjoy. I hope you'll bring me back something from there.
I'm sure I'll find some cool things for you. Now I'll be seeing you and Dan come January then. I'll talk to you again when we're back from our trip.
Mom, what day is it again that you're all planning to go to St. Martin?
We'll be leaving tomorrow.
That's what I was thinking.
What's going on, Giselle? Did something happen that you need to tell me about?
I got a lot of fruit from some friends of mine. I've been trying to give all of it to some other friends of mine as well as coworkers, but I still have so much left. I thought it would be a good idea to just swing by your place and give you all some bananas and grapes.
I see. Well, you know me, I really do love my fruits. What else do you have besides bananas and grapes?
There's some peaches, oranges, as well as some other berries. They also gave me a lot of beets and potatoes that I don't really need.
Wow, there's a lot of good stuff that I myself would really want. And same with your brother and his wife. Could you come by and drop them off here when you get the chance?
But nobody will be home to take them from me, right? You're all leaving tomorrow to fly out to St. Martin, right?
If you just leave them all in a box out in the front porch, I can have our neighbors stop by later to take them inside when they go in to water my plants. They could also take them over to their place and hold on to them until we get back. We won't be gone for too long, so all of those fruits and the beets and potatoes should be all right.
Wait, but are you really that close to your neighbor now that you're having them come over to your house to water your plants while you're gone? I thought a couple of years ago you and them got into a big fight over them causing too much noise or something.
That is all something of the past now, though. Right now we have made peace with each other and have become very good friends.
Is that what ended up happening? Well, that's good to hear.
Can you please make sure that any of the things that look like they'll spoil soon get placed at the top of the box? That way my neighbor knows what they can eat when they pick them all up for me. And the rest can go to me and the family.
Sounds good. I'll make sure to take a quick trip over to your place tomorrow evening when I have time.
Yes, please do. And thank you, Giselle.
Have you all gotten prepared for your flight tomorrow? Make sure you all don't forget to put your passports in your carry-ons before leaving. It would be terrible if one of you forgot your passport and arrived at the airport before noticing.
We are getting all of our things together right now. We'll be there for 5 days in total, so we have a large suitcase and a large carry-on as well. Well, I suppose it's going to be very warm over there, so maybe we won't need to bring that much clothing. But we plan to have a few fancy dinners there, so we'll have to bring all our dress clothing as well.
But if you don't leave some space in all your suitcases, then you won't have any room to bring anything back.
That would be a real shame if we couldn't fit anything into our bags before coming home. We plan to buy lots of things for everyone while we're there.
Right? I'm really looking forward to getting some things from there as well. So please make sure to leave some room in your bags for all those souvenirs and gifts.
Will do. When are you and your husband heading down to Florida again?
We will be leaving in 2 days, in the early morning. Dan has work until tomorrow, so we couldn't leave any sooner.
Well, it's a real bummer that he has to work so much during the holidays. After all, it was only just Christmas, right? He must really be a busy man there.
But because of that, he won't have to start heading back into work until the second week of January. So once he finishes work tomorrow, he'll get a lot of time off to take it easy with his family.
Well, it's very good to hear. Now, once you get down there, please let his family all know your dad and I say hi. And please be careful while you're both down there.
All right, and the same thing goes for the 4 of you. Also, if you have time and remember, please send me some pictures of St. Martin.
I will try my best to remember.
Hello, Candace. It's been a long time since I've last spoken to you. How are things going for you all in St. Martin? Are you having a really fun time with Ben and my parents? I asked my mom to send me a bunch of pictures while you're all there, yet she hasn't sent me a single one. If you have time, can you send me some of the pictures that you've taken?
I'm sorry to say this, Giselle, but I can't send you any pictures. And that's because I'm not in St. Martin right now.
What? What do you mean you're not in St. Martin right now? Where else would you be then?
I'm at home right now.
Hold on a second. What? I thought that all of you were supposed to be going over to St. Martin for New Year's. What ended up happening to you?
I'm the only one who didn't get to go on that trip.
Only you? But I heard from my mom that all 4 of you would be flying out there for New Year's and wouldn't be back until after. Did something happen to you? Did you become sick with something last minute?
I'm your brother's wife, and that means I have to stay here and take care of the house. I'm not allowed the luxury of going on things like vacation. And As for those fruit you brought over yesterday, I received them and took them into the garage. Thank you very much for doing that.
Wasn't it supposed to be your neighbor who would come over and take care of the fruit for you guys? I thought my mom had asked them to take them into the house when they came to water her plants.
The neighbor? We aren't all that close to any of them over there. We could never ask them to come over and do something for us.
Hold it right there. Tell me why, when that was supposed to be a family vacation, you had to stay home and weren't allowed to go with everyone else. Why would you have to stay home to watch the house just because you're Ben's wife? I have no idea what you're talking about there.
I had to stay behind because someone needs to be here to clean the house. Your mom and dad want to come home to a very clean house, so they asked me to give it a deep clean while everyone is out.
Why couldn't you have just cleaned the place before leaving? It's not like anyone will be around to make it dirty while you're all on vacation. There's no reason for you to have to stay at home.
But as your brother's wife, I'm not allowed to have any time off. It doesn't matter if it's New Year's or Christmas. I have to be in the house taking care of all the chores for everyone else.
What are you going on about, Candace? Why do you have to do any of that just because you're Ben's wife? You deserve the right to time off just like all other humans. It's important. And as you can see, I'm taking time off right now.
No. In my case, I don't need to have any time off to rest. I'm still a fresh wife to Ben, and that means I have many, many, many years to go before I'm allowed to even have a couple of hours to rest. It would be outrageous for me to have any time off right now.
What the heck? Did someone tell you something like that? Were you ordered to work without ever getting any time to take a break?
Yes. This is what your mom told me and what she ordered me to do.
You're lying. You're telling me that my mom was the one who said all of that to you?
Right now, your mom is teaching me how to become a proper wife, and this is part of her training. So I'm doing everything I can to learn from her, and will do whatever she tells me to do until one day I'm the perfect wife for your family.
Wait, Candace, has my mom been saying anything else to you?
Because I have not yet bared a child to your brother, she has started to call me a half-woman. And this whole time she has called me useless because of said problem.
She told you that you're useless because you haven't had any kids yet?
Yes. I haven't been able to get pregnant ever since your brother and I started trying.
Well, none of that is your fault. It's not like every woman has to have children either. So she should not be calling you useless for just that one reason alone. That is completely wrong of her.
No, it's not. It's my fault for having a body such as mine that I can't bear children, so I'm at fault. And that is why your mom said I am no longer allowed to have the right to the same kinds of foods as your parents and your brother.
They're forcing only you to eat different foods than the rest of them?
That's right.
What are you having to eat?
Once everyone else in the house is finished eating, I'm given the leftovers to clean up.
I cannot believe what you're telling me, Candace. What the hell is wrong with my mom? Does she think it's humane to treat another person like that?
There's no helping it now. I'm a useless wife to your family, so this is how I must be punished for it.
That is not true at all. And you should not be speaking about yourself like that either. You've always been a very kind person and think about everyone's needs, and to me, you're the best sister-in-law I could have asked for. And what difference does it make that you're my brother's wife? You're still the same woman you were before getting married to him. I don't think anyone has the right to talk down to you like that and treat you as though you're a lesser.
But I really am as useless as your mom has said I am. But I don't blame your mom for becoming upset with me.
That is just what my mom and everyone is wanting you to believe. You do not have to take whatever my mom is saying to you as the truth.
But it's the truth that I'm not able to do anything. I can't do anything. There wasn't even a company anywhere around here that wanted to hire me, and so there is no evidence pointing to me being useful. I can't even support myself, which means I need other people around me in order to stay alive.
And I'm pretty sure those are all things my mom has said to you and forced you to think. If you actually wanted to work right now, I know there would be a company or business out there that would want to hire you. She's just making you think that you can't support yourself so that you won't run away from her and my brother. She doesn't want to lose the slave that she worked so hard to get.
But as the wife of your brother, my job is to give up everything in order to serve your family.
Those are all just lies that my mom keeps telling you. She's brainwashed you into believing them. Open your eyes, Candace. I've been married to Dan for years now, and there will always be plenty of things I can't do. But my husband and his family all laugh about things like that because they don't mind me not being perfect. That's how things should be for everyone. Nobody should ever be saying that you're a useless wife, okay?
You don't think so?
My in-laws are all very thoughtful and understanding people. They know that people can't just know how to do everything the first time. So the fact that right now my mom is treating you like you have to be the perfect wife is wrong. And my brother, nor my dad, should be excused for letting her treat you that way either. And now knowing all of this has led to them leaving you behind as they go on one of the most popular places this side of the globe, I'm pissed.
But this is your family, Giselle. You should never be upset about what they do.
I don't care if they are my family or not. I think anyone who thinks they can treat someone else with that kind of disrespect deserves to be hated by me, and that's why they are all trash to me now. I never knew my family was going to turn into the kind of trash you've explained them as, though. Right now, I don't even want to think of them as my family anymore.
I'm so sorry, Giselle. Because of me, you no longer like your family.
None of this is your fault, Candace. Every single bit of this is my family's fault, and I am sorry for that. You haven't done a single thing wrong, and I will not let you take the blame for how they've treated you. Can't you see that? I want you to open your eyes so that you can save your future and never have to live under the oppression again.
You really think so?
If you're afraid to run away from them, then I will help you fly away and get your freedom back. So please, run away from that family. You have to be out of that house and out of their lives before they get back from St. Martin.
We just got back to the US, yet it seems you haven't made it to the airport yet. Hurry up and get your ass over here, you idiot woman. We are all very tired from our trip, so do not keep us waiting a second longer. You really are the most useless woman I've ever known.
Who is this idiot woman you speak of? Because as far as I'm aware, you are nothing more than trash. So don't start calling others idiots until you've figured out that it's you who is the stupidest of all of us.
Huh? What the hell did you just say to me? You think you can call me trash when you're my son's wife? Are you trying to have yourself locked in the basement tonight? When we are all back at that house, you better expect the biggest butt whooping of your life.
What do you plan to do? Because Candace is no longer in that house anymore.
Huh? Aren't you supposed to be Candace? Who the hell am I talking to then?
Me? I happen to be your daughter.
What? Is that you, Giselle?
Yes. And from what I can see here, you've been harassing Candace this whole time. I never thought that someone like my own mom would be considered one of the worst in-laws ever. The way you just spoke to me thinking I was Candace is almost like something out of an old TV drama. Are you trying to be the villain or something?
What are you talking about, Giselle? I would never ever harass Ben's wife like that.
But just a second ago, you were talking about Candace like she was useless, and then started to say that you'd whoop her butt when you got home. You called her an idiot woman and said that she was useless to you. What kind of behavior is that? That is not the kind of behavior I would call kind or thoughtful. You didn't even take her along with you guys to St. Martin like you were telling me before.
That was because Candace told me she wouldn't go all the way out there. She said she didn't want to have to spend that kind of money to go, so she would stay at the house and watch after it.
You liar.
I'm telling you the truth. She told me right to my face that she was not going to go.
She might have only said that because you brainwashed her, right? You told her she had no right to take time off and go on vacation because she's Ben's wife.
I've never brainwashed her, Giselle. Now would you stop trying to make me out as some sort of a witch? That is very rude of you to say to me, especially when I'm your mom.
Then what else am I supposed to call all of that? You've been treating her so poorly that she had no other choice but to do as you said without resisting. She couldn't resist. She was led to believe that everything about her is bad and that it's all her fault. And as a way to keep her from running away, you made her think that she'd never be able to take care of herself on her own. You are the worst, Mom. What the actual hell have you been thinking?
Why are you getting so upset about this, Giselle? What ended up happening to you?
I have every right to be upset about what I've had to learn. And I can't even begin to express how I feel about Dad and Ben sitting by and letting you do that to her. Why the hell are you three able to treat her that badly and not see anything wrong with it?
You're telling me Candace has been getting harassed? I never thought she'd be so oblivious to everything that she starts to lie by saying we're harassing her. Please do not believe for 1 second what she tells you. You should be far more willing to listen to what your mom says about her than what she says about your family, right?
I have no way to trust you three anymore. I am not going to let you guys have Candace back ever again now. I helped her run away from that hell you've been putting her through.
You helped her run away from our home? And where did you end up taking her to?
I had her come with us to Florida. She's meeting with my husband's family right now.
Huh? You brought her all the way to Florida? Why the hell would you take her all the way out there without asking us first? And why would you have to bring her out there in the first place?
You know about how Dan's parents both own a resort out here, right? Well, we talked with them on the phone for a bit and they wanted to hire someone like Candace. And they will allow her to live on the resort until she has the money to get her own place. So if she has to get a divorce now, she'll be able to support herself without you guys, right? And I think once she begins to make good money there, she'll begin to gain her confidence back.
Divorce? What kind of idiotic stuff are you going on about now?
I'm not joking about it, though. Now, Ben needs to hurry up and sign those divorce papers Candace left for him.
You are trying to get your brother and his wife divorced now? What kind of horrible sister are you?
You think that I'm the one being horrible here? Those two shouldn't even be married anymore after what I've had to learn about. She has been treated like trash by Ben this whole time, so it's only fair that she throws him away now.
That is not fair at all, though. You give us Candace back right now. I will not allow for my son and her to get any kind of a divorce.
Candace has every right to be out of this family, and that's why she needs to escape now. If she has to stay around you guys any longer, she's going to lose her mind and go mad. I hope that by being down here in the tropical weather that Florida has to offer, she'll loosen up a bit and forget about all the torture she had to endure. So please, don't any of you talk to her again.
Not only did she leave our house without asking, but now she wants a divorce. What kind of hell is she trying to raise here?
Please do not say things like that.
If she really wants to get a divorce from Ben that badly, then I'll make sure she has to pay us a settlement first. Will she even be able to pay one off?
You really think it's funny to even say something like that now? There has to be a limit of how much of a bitch you are, Mom. I really have lost all hope for you now. I just finished talking to a lawyer Dan and I met with today. And from what they were telling me, it seems that Candace might actually be the one getting a settlement after all of this now. I'll make sure to tell that to Candace as well so that she may start to get things ready. Please tell Ben to get ready to hand in the divorce forms to the courthouse as well as pay off a settlement to her.
Huh? What kind of settlement are you talking about now?
The kind that a victim of harm is entitled to getting. You, Dad, and Ben had all been harassing her after all, so she is entitled to some kind of financial reward for it. So she will now be able to get that settlement since you all went and mentally harassed her.
Mentally harassed her? Are you freaking kidding me? What are you trying to say that the three of us did to her?
Every day you guys would punish her for things, even to the point where you wouldn't let her eat some days. There were even nights you guys forced her to sleep out in the shed, right? There were also those days where she'd get really sick, but you wouldn't let her get any medication or take a break. And you wouldn't let her have any money for anything besides groceries for you three. There are plenty of other things you guys did to her there, but you'll get a whole list of everything when it comes time for Ben to pay that settlement. The lawyer is already aware of everything thanks to the diary Candace was keeping there.
Those are all her delusions. Does she even have any evidence of us doing those things she said we were doing besides that diary?
You thought that just a diary would lead to the lawyer saying she could get a settlement? She has all kinds of text messages from you and Ben that show just how horrible you both had treated her. And that really helped seal the deal in this case. You also were texting her saying that she was an idiot woman and completely useless. I think that everything Candace has said about you three is all correct.
What has gotten into you, Giselle? Are you really, and I mean really, planning on getting your younger brother to lose his wife?
Yes. I've been doing all of this for Candace. I want her to win and be free of you three. I'll even be paying all of the legal fees as well for her. It's because of you all that she lost all the money she could have had to get her own freedom.
Why are you doing all of that for her, though?
Because you are all a bunch of terrible people. I had to learn about how my own family, the family I loved, was treating someone as kind and selfless as Candace, like she was nothing more than a slave. I felt so sorry for what you all had been doing to her that I got this great feeling of shame knowing that I am related to you. I didn't think I'd have to do what I am doing today, but it's what needs to be done for Candace's sake.
You're going to do all of that for the sake of some housewife? Do you not feel bad for your younger brother at all right now?
Not one bit. This is what Ben and you all deserve. The only person I feel bad for in this mess is Candace, and Candace alone.
So you're telling me that Candace is far more important to you than your own family?
Are you trying to tell me that Candace is not my family? Well, if that's how you feel about your son's wife, then why not hire a housemaid after she's gone? I once thought of you all as important to me, but after that comment right there, I don't care for any of you anymore. And that means I will never be calling any one of you my family again, like you've been doing with Candace's name this whole time. After that, Candace was able to get a settlement worth a lot of money from my brother and parents, and was then able to get the divorce that she deserved. She was able to use that settlement for things like moving all the way out to Florida and getting herself new clothing for the warmer climate and food. My mom and dad, as well as my brother, all blame me for stealing Candace and taking her with me to Florida, but I've learned to ignore them. At first, my brother was not giving up on her and would message and call her over and over, day in and day out. But considering she had a brand new job now at the resort and was in a completely different world from what she was used to, it wasn't that hard for her to ignore him. And after some time, she went and blocked his number and everything else that she would be able to receive texts from him by, and was never bothered by him again. She never wants to go back to that hellish world, and so that means she'll never talk with the devil or her demon spawn again. Candace did send one last message to Ben, though, before blocking him, and that was about how she found him to be the worst husband ever, and that he'd stay that way as long as he lived with his mom and dad. I'm not sure if those last words from her had any effect on him or not, but I will say that a few days later, Ben started to change a lot and lash out at his mom and dad. I think he's finally starting to do something rational, and that's holding our parents responsible for the loss of his wife. After a few weeks of that, though, my mom fell very ill due to the stress of always fighting with her son and not ever getting through to him. I got a few calls from her asking me to move back home with them in order to take care of her while she was so sick, and get my brother to stop acting up, but I just ignored everything like I had learned. As for how Candace is doing these days, since we last talked, my in-laws tell me she's doing wonderful at their resort and say she's smiling a lot more. They even sent me some pictures of her while she's working, and I have to say, seeing her smile like that really makes me emotional. I'm sure the reason why my little brother was trying to get back with her so badly was because he had memories of that cute smile of hers as well. But even if he regrets all he's done to her now and wants her back that much, it's too late, and he needs to learn to just move on. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.